In this classroom section, we're going to talk about vertical video. Now, short form content can be one of the best ways to grow your live stream. So we're going to dive into that. I'll be showing you how I've generated hundreds of millions of views with vertical video. And we'll be looking at some other examples from other channels as well. Now, just briefly, if you're not familiar with the Live Success Academy, our number one goal here is to help you build a strong community of loyal viewers. As I always say, content creation, live streaming, and vertical video is not supposed to be easy. Content creation is not a get-rich-quick scheme. But the goal of this community is to help you accelerate your success. We do that by sharing what works, and we're going to share what works with vertical video in this section. And if you'd rather just read, I'll put a transcript and a summary below this video. So let me just start by sharing where I've got this knowledge from, and this is across multiple channels and across multiple niches. TikTok's done a terrible job of sorting this by popular, but as you can see, this is my gaming page where I've generated many videos, some with millions of views and many with hundreds of thousands of views. And the short form channel where I've gained the most traction is this YouTube Shorts channel named Rich YouTubers, where I talk about how much money the biggest YouTubers are making. And as you can see, I've gained over 230,000 subscribers on this channel, and we're closing in on 100 million views. And of course, we just cross post these onto TikTok as well. And you can see similarly on TikTok, many of these videos have gained millions of views. Now, I think cross-posting of videos is important. I think most people should be cross-posting their vertical video wherever they've made it to TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and Facebook Reels. And yes, I said Facebook Reels, and let me show you some examples. Well, actually one main example, and this is Blue Thunder. So Blue Thunder makes one vertical video and then cross-posts it to 4 different platforms. So here he is with millions of views on his TikTok page. As it says here, he's got 2 billion views overall. I think that's across all of his platforms. He's got 1.8 million followers on TikTok. He then reposts the same video onto YouTube Shorts. Again, that's up to 3 minutes now for YouTube Shorts. Keep that in mind. And he's got 80 million views on YouTube Shorts and 144,000 subscribers just from reposting the same videos. Once again, the most popular ones have millions of views. And then we head to his Instagram page where he's got over 800,000 followers. And we can't sort by popular, but you can see even his most recent video has 360,000 views. And he's generally getting hundreds of thousands of views per video just by reposting something he's made for another platform. And then the one that might surprise you the most, Facebook Reels. Of course, there is fewer views on some of the videos, but they're getting minimum 5-figure views still. If I scroll down, there's still a video with 1 million views, 800,000 views. So I would encourage you as a content creator, try not to be lazy. If you get the process down, you can cross-post a video to TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Facebook and Instagram Reels within just a few minutes. And of course, the potential upside is a lot more exposure to your content. And so how did I really find a blueprint to get millions of views, especially for my Rich YouTubers channel, again, which has over 90 million views? Well, what I simply did is I studied what worked on other similar channels. So with Rich YouTubers, I'm kind of just sharing information about how much money somebody makes. It's kind of like news, or again, just sharing info. So I remember coming across Dan Lambert here, who was similarly sharing information, often about things like animals. So I had a look at his videos and paid attention to the detail of what was happening in his videos. So we don't really even need audio to take a look at what's happening in some of his videos. But let's just watch the whole 17 seconds of this. And I quite deliberately really didn't even put the audio on. And that's because on many apps, the viewers aren't actually even using their audio. I think up to 50% of people on Instagram, for example, are not even having audio on. And that is a big reason to put subtitles on your video, as Dan has done here. But just in general, even if people have audio on, it kind of locks their attention in and it gives them something to focus on, because as we know, these viewers are fickle, are looking for any reason to swipe away. So for most niches, I strongly suggest adding subtitles in. And you may have noticed in Dan's video there, the camera shot was kind of moving around quite a lot. So you can see here, for example, it's just no camera full screen. And then here, he's got his camera at the bottom with the clip at the top. He's also then zoomed in his camera. We've gone back to no camera, and at one point he even puts his camera on the top as well. Again, all of these tricks are just done to kind of keep the viewer's attention. And I think the key point I'd make here is Dan's not done anything insane, but this video still has 700,000 likes. All he's done is really very small tweaks, like having subtitles right in the middle, bringing a camera in and out, and occasionally zooming his camera in. So what I would encourage you to do is find somebody who's doing really well in your niche, or just who is doing really well in general, and study the real fine details of what is going on in their video. the more you can pick out, the better. I think I picked out there most of what Dan has done, and then we'll watch it in a second, but I just kind of tried to apply that to my own channel. Now, before we watch one of my videos, just some data to show it. So this is YouTube Studio. You can see this video got nearly 5 million views. It's not a very long video, just 11 seconds. And this is the retention chart. So basically, you want to try and stop viewers from swiping away. As I said earlier, you want to keep their focus for as long as possible. And you can see on this one, we actually managed to get an average view duration of 15 seconds, which is longer than the length of the video, meaning people were replaying the start of it as well. Your goal really is to keep this line as flat as possible. If it's starting to dip, it means people have got bored and they've swiped away. Essentially, you want no dull moment. And let me show you the video and show you how I did that. And again, we're going to do it deliberately with no sound because it doesn't need sound. Now, what I've immediately done, this is the first frame deliberately paused. I am seeking out iShowSpeed fans. So I've deliberately started my script with the word iShowSpeed. Again, that's to try and to stop them from swiping away. I've deliberately started with a mean looking picture of Speed, again, to stop him swiping. And of course, I put his name in the video title. So again, your immediate goal with the vertical video is to try and stop them from swiping. Literally, the first frame, it has to give them a reason to stay. So I've got the iShowSpeed fans now. I'm going to give them a reason to stay. Let's give them even more of a reason within the first sentence. So it said, iShowSpeed has made a lot of money from YouTube last month. So already they're interested. They want to know how much money has he made. And again, deliberately, I'm not trying to waste their time here. So we play the rest of the video. I've switched to a different picture. Again, similar to Dan Lambert. We've switched to get another picture. We're going through some basic data here. Again, interesting for the Speed fans. And then we've ended, and again, this is the literal final word we've said. We've ended with the estimate, and by the way, this video is miles out of date. I'm sure Speed's making way more than that now. But as you can see throughout the video, there is no dull moments. I've delivered what I've said I would deliver, which is how much money he's making. And then I've just ended the video. There's no waffle at the end. And again, reason for that is because we want this line as flat as possible. The algorithms on all of these platforms, they're going to reward you if you can get the average view duration higher. And you can see there is a little dip at the end. We probably didn't quite cut it enough. I don't know if you can see the scroll bar at the bottom here. There's a little gap here where we probably could have cut it even earlier if we're being pedantic. So again, that is just an example of me looking at Dan Lambert, taking some of the aspects that Dan Lambert has done, and then adding it for myself. As we can see in a lot of these videos, I would also add in my camera. And again, that's because it was inspired by Dan Lambert. Again, study what works in your niche. And speaking of studying what works, let's look at a few more examples. First up, we've got Birdo. Of course, this is the gaming niche, specifically Fortnite. Again, I've got the first frame here. You can immediately see what the video is about. And I think he's deliberately got this rift in his first frame because it stands out. So for anyone interested in Fortnite, they've got this nice visual rift and the visual yellow in the bottom left. And they're going to learn some Scorpion Mythbusters. And then again, I'll just play the video through just with not much audio. But again, in Birdo's videos here, it's really no dull moment. You see them doing a test. And once the test is complete, they'll confirm by, again, he's speaking, but they'll confirm you saw the check mark by both speaking and putting a check mark. And again, it's designed so even if you don't have the audio on, you can still understand what's going on. And again, as we can see now, they're just straight into the next myth. And it basically just repeats over and over with myths. And it's deliberately designed to be 1 minute and 1 second long, because then you can monetize it using TikTok's creativity program or whatever they've called it these days. They keep renaming it. Now, just a quick note on how do you edit the videos. Well, these days there's so many different video editors, including web-based editors, things like CapCut, and of course the more advanced video editors. For vertical video, the simple web editors can often work really well. Like I often use Veed. All I've done here is with a few clicks, I've added these subtitles. All I really did was about 2 clicks to get these subtitles in. And then of course I can go through the subtitles and edit them to change any words. For example, I might capitalize OBS or TikTok Live Studio and stuff like that. But these days in 2025, any modern video editor is going to let you add captions with just a few clicks. And finally, just in terms of how the algorithm works for these platforms, it's broadly the same. Again, it's looking to get long average view duration on your video, keep the viewers hooked. But I will put this post below the video. I shared this a while ago, but it's still fully accurate. Just my thoughts on how the vertical video algorithms work. Again, I'll put a full transcript below this video. And of course, you are very welcome to post in the community section of this community if you have any questions.